Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cointelegraph AMA. It's Giovanni here. Today we're gonna talk about plugchain, a layer zero blockchain solution with low gas fees and high performance. To talk about that, we have a special guest, Mr. Joy, the co-founder of plugchain. Welcome, Mr. Joy.
Hi, Mr. Giovanni. Hi, everybody. Glad that I can be on Cointelegraph. Really proud of it.
It's a pleasure to have you. So, before we jumped into the AMA, I want to remind our audience that this is an interactive show. So, please ask any question that you have in the chat below, um, actually on the right, and then we are going to ask those questions to Mr. Joy.
All right,
Also,
cool.
don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it already. So let's get started. Mr. Joy, can you briefly introduce your project? What is plugchain?
All right. Okay, Plugchain is, as Mr. Giovanni is mentioned just now, Plugchain is a public chain that we have two specialties on the project. We call it the CrossChain and the Oracle Network Protocols. Um, because initially we intend to have plugchain to create plugchain, not like others public chain like Ethereum or Tron that just simply supported the blockchain or crypto world. The intention of creating blockchain is to help out uh, the real traditional industry like maybe factory, maybe manufacturings, or maybe transportations, to let all these kind of real life industry to be able to enjoy blockchain technology. So that's why we created blockchain. And the most important part, we have to put it together with the Oracle Network Protocol and cross-chain functions. So, this is the whole original idea.
Mhm. So maybe for those people that don't know about this concept, blockchain is a layer zero blockchain. So we know that there are like different layers: layer one, layer zero, layer one, layer two. Can you maybe briefly explain what is the function of a layer zero blockchain solution?
All right. So, to be frank, very simple. I believe there is a lot of audience and viewer out there which might not be 100% understand about technology. So let me make it simple about like what is layer zero or what is layer one. Go straight like this way. Blockchain is the base layer. The layer zero is the base layer. The most basic, fundamental blockchain, public chain. You can build every single thing on top of blockchain. Just imagine this way. We were trying to talk about Ethereum's. We're trying to talk about maybe, for example, Tron's or some other public chain. You can build every DeFi or any single the apps function that you're trying to build on top of it. Just for example, like Ethereum, you can build a DEX, a Uniswap, you can build on top of it, uh, and you can build a lot of different things on Ethereum platform. So the whole and original ideas of blockchain is like we're trying to make sure that uh, blockchain itself is the most basic line, basic chain by itself, and we welcoming, and currently we have like nearly 18 different ecosystem is building on us. For example, we have our own decentralized exchange already. That they're trying to build decentralized exchange we call swap, blockchain swap on top of blockchain uh, chain. And we have NFT, we have a lot of defines and ecosystem as well that they are using blockchain for the fundamental chain. So to be simple as that. For those who are not technology background, maybe.
Okay, yeah. So like a base layer solution where you can build the apps and other products on top of it. So now let's dive a little bit more in deep into the project. So can you give us some information about your background? So what is your team and what motivated you to start this project in the first place?
Well, my background. I'm in blockchain for like 5 years. I mean, before we started the whole Cointelegraph live streaming, I just talked with Mr. Giovanni just now on the backstage. I'm saying that we are welcoming a lot of people if you are able to come to like Asia or like Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, China, maybe. Frankly, a lot of places that I know personally, which is owned by crypto fans, they are able to receive Bitcoins or USDT as your spending. Okay, what is it related with my background? To be honest, I started a project called FeeCoin years back. I started a project called FeeCoin years back. I'm invented, me and my partners and the company called FeeLab, we invented the world first point of sale system, POS. Okay, POS machine that enables to receive cryptocurrency like Ethereum's, Bitcoins, and USDT, Tron maybe, Bitcoin Cash maybe, everything. So my background years back when I founded VLab, my intention is to make sure cryptocurrency is not only meant for speculations or investment, it can be used somewhere else to spend because I understand more people joining in, more people loving cryptocurrency, the higher value it will be. So cryptocurrency should be go somehow in future by that place. So years back, I started Vcoin, VLab, and I'm selling more than 300,000 pieces of the post of sales machine to a lot of different cryptocurrency companies and fans as well in the world, and has been in Nasdaq, invited to Nasdaq and to CNBC. And yes, I failed my whole company seriously, but I gained what I learned, how to make sure a cryptocurrency will gain their value. I learned a way to make sure the whole project will go success again. So this is how I saw plugchain because I did not found plugchains in the beginning. A friend of mine, they to uh, intend to develop plugchain as they wanted to help factories and manufacturing them. So I understand the whole picture and the aims behind. So I decided to say, right, so I'm trying to invest it in and I'm trying to incubate the blockchain into a bigger market because I have still a lot of people supporting me overseas and in China and in Asia and in Europe as well. So I say, let's bring blockchain to the world. And yes, I did bet it right. And I bet it nicely. Blockchain did start from 0.01 until now, 90 times gaining. And for 1 month, we are still there. The fans, the, the supportive fans is so strong. So this is my background.
Cool. Thanks for giving us that background. So now you said that you wanted to bring the blockchain to the real world. You talked about different types of industries. You talked about manufacturing and so on. So can you now explain better what is the actual real world use cases that blockchain is trying to bring into reality?
Right, cool. I mean, uh, due to, okay, let me make it much more straight and simple because for years back, I have been participate in blockchain and I heard a lot of myth or I heard a lot of story that uh, blockchain will be the future for all industry. But yet, I would say that is a myth. Why? Because let me give you an example. a lot of blockchain technology communities or companies or cryptocurrency company, they always say that they will help up, like for example, agriculture. Just imagine if you buy a milk from a supermarket, from cold storage, and from the bottle of the milk with a barcode, you will trace every single action, every single temperature, every single people who get involved with the milk. And everybody heard of that. I mean, the power, the sort of, I mean, how can we trace every single action by using blockchain 3 to 4 years ago? Yet until now, nobody really solved the whole problem. So I say it's a myth. Why do I say it this way? Just imagine you own a farm, you have 1,000 cows, and you produce milk a lot. And what you are trying to do is to produce every single milk, every single bottle, and you need to like, okay, this cow come up this liter of milk. I'll record it in blockchain. Once I deliver to another guy at a temperature of like 26 degrees Celsius, 3 p.m., I need to record it on the blockchain. And which delivery man get the bottle of milk, I need to record it on the block. And how's the truck goes, where is the GPS, I need to record it on the blockchain. Seriously, the farmer, the delivery man, they won't do it for you, because the world needs something like Chainlink, which is we call the Oracle network system. Because the farmer regularly, they only know how to produce milk. They will record it into their laptop or maybe in their phone and let the rest be done by the Oracle network protocol. If there is no Oracle network protocol, traditional business, they will not have all their data in blockchain, and the whole world they won't understand the real data being recorded on the blockchain. So that's why blockchain VDA, yep, it's time for us because we are in Asia, and a lot of people might agree with me that China is one of the biggest mega factory country in the world. Vietnam, uh, Thailand, Indonesia, we have a lot of factory. So that's why we say blockchain are originated from Asia. And of course, in future, we really hope that all these factory manufacturings, transportations can use blockchain to record every single thing, and will help them to put it into the blockchain world. So the consumer, so the user will easily source, I mean, the data.
Okay, sounds cool. So you mentioned oracles, right, as the point of a
Yeah.
connection between the blockchain world and the outside world. So they are those mechanisms that allow to retrieve real world data and bringing it into the blockchain. So as far as I understand, the blockchain's key feature, one of blockchain's key feature, is actually the combination of oracles and cross-chain technology. Can you tell us more about these two components and how they interact with each other?
Um, I Okay, let me give an example this way. I have a childish idea. I'm always telling my own communities and my own fans. I don't call it really childish because I really hope that one day the dream will come true. How to combine between cross-chain and the Oracle network system, Oracle network protocols. Just imagine this way. Uh, 5 7 years ago, the world doesn't recognize Bitcoin, and yet 2021, tons of country, dozens of countries are developing their own cryptocurrency. I mean, legal cryptocurrency. Like for example, China, they have their own cryptocurrency, stablecoin called DCEP, Digital Currency Electronic Payments of China, which is representing renminbi, China yuan. In U.S. government, They also announced that they will have their own US dollar stable coin in future. And you can see Saudi Arabia's, Dubai's, and all these countries, they have their own cryptocurrency as well. So I believe more or less in future, all these cryptocurrency built by the national government will be built on blockchain. So um, one day, all these legal cryptocurrency, I'll call it legal stable coin, they will be their own chain. So plugchain, we hope that we will to service them. Just imagine this way: a tourist from China step down to America, to step down to the right, and what he have is digital currency, electronic payment, which is the China yuan. And while he trying to spend for a McDonald's in America, he can simply pay. Okay, he can simply pay DCEP, which is digital currency of China, to McDonald's, and McDonald's will simply receive digital currency of US dollar. Simply as that, simple as that. And how do we do the transaction? Because blockchain dedicated, we can service and help out a lot of different country. We can help because every single digital currency of the country is a chain, and we'll cross it together as a blockchain. Secondly, how to make sure that the value equally transacted. You need Oracle Network Protocol. Just as short as we trying to become the Visa and MasterCard of the currency world, of the digital currency world.
Okay, that's fascinating. Yeah, so imagine a world where every single country has its own digital currency, central bank digital currency. You want to play the role of the connection between all of them to facilitate a global network of
Yeah.
transactions. That's pretty cool. But we also know that we are not super close to this future where every country has its own digital currency. We saw China that is at the forefront, but most of other countries are still like lagging behind a bit. But how is this cross-chain technology useful in the present time? So how is that applicable to the current situation in the crypto ecosystem?
All right. So I give two different kind of example. The first example is like what Mr. Giovanni is mentioned. How do we play the role in the cryptocurrency world? I mean, cross-chain, you can easily find a lot of different example. Like for example, Polkadot, DOT. I'm a fan of Polkadot. That's why I'll be investing on blockchain as well. So I'm a huge fan of Polkadot because there is a lot of example. I mean, just imagine this way: if you're trying to have your transaction Uniswap, I mean the world number one DEX, right? So what you can do is only using ERC20 USDT for the transaction. So other than that, I'm sorry, you cannot play along with the Uniswap. So once, just imagine this way, a cross-chain platform DEX that able to connect Trons, that able to connect Omni Bitcoins, that able to connect ERC20, any single transaction or exchange can be easily done using the cross-chain performance. So this is one of the example for the I say the crypto world. So in the other way around, let's trying to give some example for the traditional world as well. Maybe like for example, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Giovanni, I heard that you're from Europe, Italy. Maybe let's say you're gonna send me some pizza, right? And all the data will be recorded on your own blockchain, and I'll be receiving on my transportations, on my shipments, and I have my own blockchain system. If you run your own, I run my own. The data won't link up together, And that's why you need to have a plugchain, because your data will be connected to my data, and my data can be connected to your data. That's why we have to. Um, that's why we believe, and we strongly believe, that cross-chain will be one of the most biggest, fascinating specialty for blockchain work in future.
Yeah, the capacity to connect multiple chain is definitely something that a lot of people are trying to achieve in these times, because so many different blockchains are popping up everywhere. So definitely this capacity of connecting different blockchains is a useful feature. Now, before we move on, I would like to remind our audience to not hesitate to write questions in the chat, and we're gonna ask Mr. Joy about them. We see that there are already a few. So maybe let's pick one from the audience now. So someone is asking, what is the difference? What is the difference between your project, plugchain, and VChain? I'm not familiar with VChain. Mr. Joy, are you? Not really?
No, not really.
Okay, then I guess that we will skip that one. So now they are asking also a question regarding the supply. I guess they mean the supply of the underlying token, right? Because you have an underlying token that is being, as far as I understand, is also listed on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko. So can you tell us something about the supply of the token, and something about the tokenomics of the token?
All right, cool, no problems. So, okay, originally, I mean, the whole total supply of blockchain, we designed it as 100 billions, 100 billions, but 85% of the supply is post mining. I mean, you need to become our node in order to have the supply equivalently sharing to everybody if you become one of the validator node. And 85% of the 100 billions will comes out for the following 20 years. So the initial supply is actually 15%, which is roughly 15 billions. I mean, of course, it's quite high, 50 billions, but yet uh, we intend to run the whole project for the next 6 to 12 months on traditional business. And if those who understand and participate in we call that POS, proof of stakes, if you are not holding a majority of the token, if you are not holding majority of the tokens in a POS system, you will be easily get attacked by other people who own some of the plug, some of the plug as big as you. I mean, you will lose control of the data. You will lose control of uh, the the stability and the health of the whole public chain. So in the beginning, we did have a huge chunk of the total supply. And yet, I think you can try to follow our Twitter. A lot of people is asking, yes, why you hold a lot of blockchain in the beginning, and but they forget to follow on the news, because we have nearly 80 different foundations that we're holding nearly 90% of the blockchain token, plugchain, and we promise and we tell the whole world and we share the address and we show that to the whole world that all these do whatever what we want for at least 10 years. So this is how we trying to show the whole world. Once we need to make sure blockchain run healthily, stably, and smoothly. But yet you need to have a certain amount of plug chain in your hand. And of course, if you go to the exchange market, people did afraid. What if one day I supported your token and you sell your token? So that's why we promised to the whole world 9% of the token with address showing to the whole market. We have the poster, we have the articles showing the whole world. 90% of the plug chain will not sell to the market. You can check on the address in our Explorer straight away. 90% will keep for at least 10 years.
Okay. Thanks for guiding us through the tokenomics of the project. Now I would like to discuss a little bit more the feature that you were mentioning before regarding like cross-chain capabilities. So this is not, of course, the first time that I come across a project that is focused on cross-chain technology and interoperability between different chains. So can you maybe tell us what is your competitive advantage compared to other projects that offer that are focusing on the same cross-chain technology features?
Seriously, trying to be honest, because yes, especially this year, especially 2021, like 10 different private chains showing to the whole world, 9 of them are running on cross-chain. So when the market only have a few and it's really easy for you to compare, but seriously currently when the market have like nearly 100 different cross-chain private chain, it's really quite hard for us to compare. But no matter how hard to compare, it only means one thing: cross chain is one of the mainstream specialty in the market. So at least it proved that we are on the right track. I'll say it this way, because it really hard for me, because as I mentioned previously, like my past record, my past story, I'm running a post machine that helping all different cryptocurrency to develop their circulations. So I won't say this blockchain is not really good. Mine is better. How can we make sure the cryptocurrency will become acceptable to the rest of the people who think that we are scamming? I mean, like Donald Trump maybe, like Joe Biden maybe, and those people who they run real currency maybe, how to make sure that they love us. We love ourselves first. I mean, I love you, Mr. Giovanni. If you have a coin, I will support you, you'll support me. And one day we are big enough and they will think they will join in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now I can see there is more and more involvement from the audience. That's awesome to see so many people asking questions. I see one recurring question is the difference between your project and Polkadot. I remember that you mentioned Polkadot earlier in the stream, so maybe you wanna make sure that people understand the difference between the two projects.
Okay, so Polkadot, I mean, very simple. Let's say if we really need to have some different, something different about the chain. I mean, Polkadot relies on, we call that chains and parachain. I mean, they have a lot of different small sockets. For marketing guys like me, a cryptocurrency investor like me, to understand, Polkadot is actually they actually built between chains and parachain for the cross chain. Once the parachain is finished, I mean that's all for Polkadot. I mean either in future they maybe have better public chain, they try to connect it in, but yeah, no more place. That's all. So plugchain, we actually uses Cosmos for the fundamental. So we call it, we use the IBC cross-chain protocol to transfer the asset across the chain. The name's already different, but the logic is the same. So so as short, what plugchain can much more different compared to Polkadot is if one day we have 1,000 different private chain in the market, And I believe plugchain will be one of the cross-chain public chain to support to link up all these asset, all this cryptocurrency. Yet Polkadot, I think, for my current understanding, it's only able to link up a limited amount because it relies on what we call one chain and one socket, or what we call the parachain.
Okay, that was pretty clear. So for the people that maybe just joined this stream, I think it would be nice if you could mention a few killer features of your project, like 2 or 3, so that you give like bullet points in terms of like killer features that your project can offer for people that maybe has just joined the stream and want to know what are the strongest point in your project.
Okay, so again, the killer feature, of course, for us that we will mention is the cross-chain function. Cross-chain function, first thing, because as long as you're trying to build an ecosystem on top of blockchain, as long as you're trying to build anything, you're trying to create your own tokens, you're trying to have your own coins, you're trying to have your own defines, as long as you build it on blockchain, you will have the cross-chain function as well. So secondly, for the next following 1-2 years, we will be optimizing our Oracle Network Protocol as well. So once you decided to have your own ecosystem on top of blockchain, beside cross-chain, you will have Oracle Network Protocol function as well. Imagine this way: if you're trying to run, let's say, for example, a digital, a decentralized exchange, a DEX, right? So if you're trying to run a DEX, you might have to link up if you want it. So you might need to link up with different informations from the currency world or from the digital. You need to link up with some exchange to get their pricing. You might to link up to get with a market making system, and all these things you need to link with the Oracle Network protocols. So this is our second killer feature. And the third thing, for the 90% of the market to be easy understanding, is what we call that quite huge TPS. As for now, I mean, as for our TPS goes up to 30,000 transaction per second. I mean, it's quite fast. If you're trying to transact between do your transaction between chain to chain, I mean, it's a blink of eye. I mean, in a fraction of a second, you receive your digital currency. Whether it's plug or you build your own cryptocurrency on plug, yeah, you can receive it in a fraction of a second. I mean, this is the third killing. Killing. I mean, our specialty as well. And maybe if I want to talk about the fourth one, is the transaction fee is fairly low. A lot of people, and for me myself, I'm an Ethereum supporter as well. I mean, at least few times a year when we're trying to use the Ethereum, so that the transaction fee sometimes is, but of course, means a lot of people using Ethereums, the higher transaction fee will be. So, but what we're trying to build up for blockchain is we have the lowest transaction fee ever we can create. So our ecosystem in the beginning, they can develop healthily and nicely.
Yeah, low transaction fees and speed, I think, are two of the key most important features for every successful blockchain nowadays, and a lot of them are competing on those parameters specifically. Now I want to pick another question from the audience because, of course, lately there is a lot of hype around the metaverse, around gaming, NFTs. Is it something related to those that you are working on at the moment? Is plugchain involved with NFT gaming and the metaverse?
I owe you one, Mr. Giovanni. You really asked a good question. I mean, yeah. So yeah, for blockchain itself, I mean, represent because to represent blockchain by itself, blockchain did not run and develop the metaverse or NFT by ourselves, but we already have an ecosystem in China already develop their own metaverse gaming using blockchain base. And I mean, it's really nice for those fans out there. If you're trying to play some metaverse gaming, but not just simply keeping a cat or a dog or a crab or something like that, about a real history. I mean, a lot of people who understand Asia or maybe understand China, there is a huge history background in China from the Qing dynasty to the Ming dynasty, for all the emperor you can find. Yes, we have an ecosystem, we have a company, we have owners in China already running and developing China history metaverse gaming. And they're going to launch maybe after 2 3 months to the market. And it's built on blockchain. I mean, this is one of it. And we have also another one, NFT in Singapore, running on blockchain as well. We have two currently, one metaverse gaming and one NFT in Singapore, and both of them, uh, I mean, community build up. I mean, they runs by themselves. They have their own communities. They do everything on blockchain.
Okay, sounds exciting. So maybe we can continue talking about the future projects, the future development of blockchain. So, in order for our audience to understand what has been achieved so far and what still needs to be achieved um, in the timeline of your project. So maybe you can highlight the main goals that you achieved this year and what you are hoping to achieve for 2022 in terms of development projects that you want to implement and so forth.
Well, I'm a marketing guy. Okay, firstly, I'm a marketing guy. So forget about the technology part, because I'm supposed to invite my architect or my partners for the whole blockchain technology to explain about the future development of blockchain regarding on the technology. I'm the marketing guy. I incubate blockchain, so I answer in a marketing way for this year. At least first of the at least first goal we already achieved. We listed in L Bank, okay, L Bank, which is the world top 30 exchange. We start our price at 0.01, and we hold it nicely at today at 0.09. I mean, we started at 0.001, and we hold it at 0.09 or 0.0708, like 70, 80 times gaining for our communities and our fans. I have, and we are still there for the past 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, I have no idea, but I would say that it's quite fascinating. We stable our price. We let and make sure all the community earn and gain their profit. I mean, this is our goal, because seriously, Mr. Giovanni and a lot of people are asking me, "What is your future? What are you trying to do?" Some people can give you a dozens of ideas and how they're trying to develop, but all this thing is bullshit if your community is not earning money. All this thing is bullshit if your price shutting down. So the first goal we achieve. So the second things that we're gonna achieve this year, beside our bank, we're gonna list in xt.com and hotbit.com by end of this month or probably beginning of next month. and we are approaching by top exchanges. Top 10 exchanges in the world, which is quite famous. And the interviewings, the telemeetings, and it's all been done. So very soon, probably next month, we will announce once they have their memo out, showing to the market. So our second goal is to make sure that we're gonna list beside Lbank, beside Hotbit and XT already announced. At least we can list one of the uh, top exchanges in the world, that which is famous enough, top 10 exchanges in the world. So we already approached by them and probably going to announce in the next 1 2 weeks probably. So this is our aim and goals for this year. So the goals for next year, we aim before 2020 June or July, we will have at least 50 to 80 different ecosystem built on top of blockchain. Like I mentioned just now, we have NFT, Metaverse, and we have the decentralized exchange, and yet we have stablecoin as well, but it's not developed by blockchain. It's built by our ecosystem, by our community. We have a lot of different gaming, mining, decentralized exchange, and all sort of different things. And we even have a community from Thailand. They trying to use blockchain for ERP system, uh, enterprise resources planning system, built on blockchain. So at least next year, June or July, we will have our aim. We will support the growth of 50 to 80 different ecosystem inside blockchain. So these are aims. So once we reach there, the price will automatically goes up by itself. I don't really care that what is the price that we can go. I only cares how big your project can runs, and the more project you can runs, the bigger value you'll be. So yeah, this is my marketing ideas to everybody.
Great, awesome. I mean, I think that there are a lot of things to look forward to, and of course, I noticed that the price of your underlying token has been doing great. So that means that there are very good potentials there. So people that might want to check it out, check out the blockchain website. To find more information about it. I believe the website is en.plugchain.info. And you can find much more information about it. Plugchain is also on YouTube. It's on Medium. It's on Twitter. It's pretty much everywhere you can find additional information about it. So I think this is a good moment to wrap things up. Mr. Joy, do you have any more comments or things that you would like our audience to know about the project?
I try to promote one thing, Mr. Giovanni, and I really hope that you can enjoy it as well. Beside promoting blockchain, beside promoting the ecosystem and what's strong and what good about us, I really love one thing in blockchain. I have a gangs of friends. They write us a song. And it called the songs is actually called "Plug in Me." Okay, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Plug in me, right? Plug, as you understand, plug, right? Plug in you, plug in me. The rest, and they create whole songs. If mistaken, 5 or 6 different languages. They have in Japanese, they have in Koreans, they have in Indians, they have in Cantonese, Chinese, Mandarin, English, and Indonesia, if not mistaken. So it's a multi-language rapping songs, and it's all regarding about blockchain. I love that songs a lot. So beside blockchain, I really hope for those people who are listening to us, all the viewers, all the audience, you can go online, go to Twitters or go to YouTube, do subscribe on our social media, and do find that songs called Plug in Me, and run through the whole songs, listen at least 5 to 10 times. Believe me, you're gonna love it. is one of the great songs ever heard, because it's all about cryptocurrency, it's all about blockchain, and it's a rap songs, and it's 6 or 5 different languages. So I really love it. So I'm trying to promote this. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I was checking your YouTube channel before, and I saw the one rap song on there, but it's called Plugs Rap. Maybe it's not the same one you were talking about.
I think Plug in Me. Maybe you're trying to look. I love that song actually. It's quite funny.
Yeah, check it out. I believe you can find it on Plugchain YouTube channel. So cool. Thanks a lot, Mr. Joy, to come on our show. It was a great pleasure, and I also want to thank you, our audience, for the participation and all the questions. I'm Giovanni, your host, and see you next time.
I'm Joey, and see you next time. Bye bye.